Doctors say subtle changes in the way you speak, such as softness, tremor, or reduced volume, can act as warning signals for a range of diseases, from neurological disorders like Parkinson's to metabolic conditions and even mental health issues. For example, monotone in voice may be schizophrenia, Parkinson's disease, depression. If there is hoarseness, malignancy, acid reflux, laryngitis, autoimmune disorder. If you have a raspy like sandpaper, dehydration, chronic acid reflux, that can also irritate throat and larynx, sans heartburn with voice changes worse in morning. Husky and breathy, certain heart conditions can alter mass tension, elasticity of vocal cord. AI studies show smoking also lowers pitch, increases voice signal noise. High pitched may be diabetes, voice frequency is deeper. Softened voice could point to thyroid issues. Loud, staccato speech, it means that if voice is coming in bursts, broken sounds like Ra, Mo, Mu or RR, then instead of Rama Mamuti, it can suggest cerebellar disorder. So the larger point is, voice can actually tell that there may be significant malice or disease inside your body. So voice is a non-invasive way to find out what is going wrong. On this issue, I am joined by Dr. V. Mohan, Chairman and Chief of Diabetology. Dr. Mohan will enlighten on this issue. So, for example, diabetes, does it affect the voice, sir?
Yes, diabetes can affect the voice, and it's not one of the well-known things that we are taught in medicine. So the assessment of voice is not a new thing. I mean, right from our third year or fourth year medical college days, many of the conditions which you listed are well known. For example, Parkinson's, we say slow, monotonous voice. It's not just the gait which gets slowed, but their voice also gets slowed. Depression. When somebody is depressed, you're not very enthusiastic when you speak. And somebody who's had a voice earlier and now you have a recording now and there's some change, you can detect these subtle changes. As far as diabetes is concerned, some changes in the pitch have been described with diabetes, but more classical than that is thyroid disorders. So in thyroid disorders, if you have hypothyroidism, you can get a hoarseness of the voice, and through that you can diagnose. So it almost sounds like Sherlock Holmes. When somebody, the Sherlock Holmes movies, when somebody walks in, he says, you come from this place, that place, and you had this, like that. So a good clinician should be able to make out a lot of things from the way the person enters, from the way the person speaks. We should be able to, are you depressed about something? It's just the way that they talk. Now, the next stage to take this is because doctors are losing the clinical skills. Because, the clinical examination which we were taught 30 or 40 years ago, when we didn't have all these equipments, touch and the feel and the hearing and the seeing, observation, those kind of things are de-emphasized. Oh, we have an X-ray, we have a CT, why should you bother going and tapping the patient? And so that's what has happened now. But it's coming back now with the AI. Because while human beings can pick up some things, AI voice-based analysis may be much better, but it needs large data sets as displayed there. It will need tens of thousands of voices. Now, suppose you show a early dementia voices of, say, 10,000 people to AI, and then you get little late dementia and a normal person of the same age. I think AI may be able to do that. And we are collaborating at the Madras Diabetes Research Foundation. We have signed an MOU with the Center for Brain Research in Bengaluru, where they are doing a lot of work on dementia and healthy aging, as you know. And since diabetes is a condition where there is accelerated aging, that means if a person has diabetes and is 60 years old, but has 20 years of diabetes, it's as if that person is 75 or 80 years old. That's called as the pheno age, as compared to the chrono age, which is your biological age. So we are trying to find out, in collaboration with the Center for Brain Research and the UK Dementia Research Institute, UKRI in the UK, trying to see whether diabetes is a condition where accelerated aging is occurring, whether dementia sets in at an early age, and whether by using, of course you can diagnose it by doing MRI and doing certain biochemical tests and so on, but they are very expensive. So can we do it by simple methods? By studying that. So that's a project which we have just started.
A lot of people have an idea, like for example, stroke can affect your speech, you know. If
yes.
So you know, it's I'm not a doctor, but I understand that if someone is slurring, or if there is an issue, then I know it's something serious.
Beginning of a stroke. Yeah.
You are having a stroke. So, but what you are describing us is early symptoms of something which is very, very subtle and early symptoms of something which people have no idea. So do you think that with the help of AI, quantum computing, this can really help doctors diagnose what's happening in a non-invasive way?
Very early stages. As you say, if somebody is not able to speak, even a layman will say something wrong. Maybe it's in the brain because he's not able to talk. And the next stage, total aphasia. No voice is coming. So obviously he's already had a stroke, which is affecting the speech area in the brain. So that's very obvious and that anybody can make out. But what you're trying to see is whether we can predict the early onset of diseases like dementia, Parkinson's, not in the classical stage. When somebody's lost memory and you don't need voice to make out, they're completely gone. So can we diagnose, because why this is important is, India is an aging society now.
Yes.
We were till now a very young society, 50% of population below 20 years of age. Lifespan at the time of independence was 35 years, today 72 years. Very soon it will become 80, 85 years, like in Japan and in other countries. And therefore, you will find that the brain is degenerating because at age, today we don't have a proper medicine to actually stop dementia, although those medicines are being discovered. We didn't even have biochemical tests until a couple of years ago. Now we have a panel of biochemical tests to do. But as we speak now, those tests are very, very expensive. So what you're going to do is, you're going to do the gold standard tests and then see whether by simple things like gait, make the person walk, are we able to, in slow motion, can AI pick up certain changes which the human brain is not able to pick up?
So most importantly, it's going to be less
changes,
expensive.
Can you pick
it's
it
not
up?
going to be as expensive as those invasive.
It need not be, because voice analysis only needs a software.
Yes.
And once you train it, with thousands of cases, once you put it on, it'll probably tell you, it won't diagnose, but it'll say, can you rule out early dementia in this patient? Can you think of hypothyroidism in this patient?
Yes.
Then you can send the patient for the
Absolutely.
test. You can at least, as an initial screening test, it can be done. That's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much for joining me for this
so
riveting conversation on how voice can be used to detect diseases. So this is all I had on Point today. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, which is 7 p.m. Thank you and good night.
खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
तेरी एक जिद और फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स सब डबल।
रिटायर हो जाऊं क्या? अच्छा, बिजनेस के लिए लोन का आइडिया किसका था? पर बुढ़ापा आ गया हो।
इनकी जिद ने कारोबार भी बढ़ाया और रोजगार भी, टाटा कैपिटल बिजनेस लोन्स के साथ।
लास्ट टाइम कश्मीर गई थी ना, वहाँ खाया शहद, पर उसके लिए कश्मीर जाना पड़ेगा। अरे कश्मीर क्यों जाना, कश्मीर ही यहाँ आ गया।
सुंदर वादियों में महकती खुशबू और रंग बिरंगे फूल, इनमें से शहद निकाल कर जमा किया जाता है असली शहद, लायन कश्मीर हनी।
असली शहद, असली स्वाद।
Red Fort explosion. Let's get you all the updates. Following the blast, there is of course a South Indian connection of Dr. Shaheen Shahid. Because this is news of national import, that search operations are underway across the entire Al Falah University campus. The blast killed 12 people. Prices, however, of Nandini ghee have been hiked. KMF has defended Nandini is the brand. I've been getting a lot of queries on my phone. What's for the people of Karnataka? Okay, you can play tennis as much as you want to, but I'm the empire and I will say please. There is an eyeball to eyeball confrontation. Where is this going? What is the way out? The farmers, they can actually shake a nation. Both of you down, because I can also shout Prashant ji.
Taxes, jobs, housing, electric vehicles, defense. News9 decodes the numbers behind the noise. You define India's growth story. We decode what's in it for you. Budget 2026. No noise, no confusion. A budget for a bulletproof Bharat.
Delhi is losing the fight against pollution.
This is not a story of just children. This is the story of every elderly person in the National Capital Region.
Delhi's hazardous air quality.
It's more capital of the world.
Delhi pollution has left us sick and exposed, also frankly embarrassed.
Hazardous air quality are disrupting daily life.
Growing issue of a toxic air looming large over Delhi.
Delhi's air quality index has been hovering between 300 and 400 for the past week.
The culprit was the same PM 2.5, the main pollutant which is emitted from heavy industries, power plants, vehicles, crop burning and coal-based heating.
The overall air quality of the city continues to remain in the very poor category.
We look at how Delhi is once again struggling with danger.
It's not just about today, it's about the future.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching News9, English news as it should be.